It's 40 minutes after 6 a.m. It's a holiday here in GH because it's Good Friday. Well,
yeah.
Morning.
Thanks for joining me.
What were you doing
The
with
reason
your
why
life?
I thought today was a Saturday.
No, roll.
My alarm went off at 4. I saw the alarm. I said, today's Saturday too. How come I had my alarm? I mean, just in my mind. So true. So I have to thank the one who woke me up.
Who's the one who woke you up?
Sweet person. Sweet. She woke me up, and I said, Charlie.
That's all.
We just woke you. I said,
that's all the story. That's all the story.
That's all the story. But it's your birthday today. You see Fidris, and this one is coming from Ifo Antoinette in Romford, UK, and she says that you're usually called Miji. You work with the DMMI, so have a great time.
You know the thing I like about you, you're very smart.
In terms
you're
of...
a very smart man. You kind of change the conversation when you want to. But I'll let it pass. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, Joseph, how are you?
I woke up on my own.
You woke up on your own?
Yeah. The alarm notified me.
You're a single man. So
no, it's got nothing to do with me being double.
Why are you defending yourself?
No, by the way you're saying
but we moved from you.
When you said someone woke you up, logically means the person was on the same bed with you.
Well, could be or not be, but this one the person was on the bed with me.
Hey, Roland.
Oh, seriously.
Joseph, are you looking? It's a holiday, so, we can connect you if you don't mind.
I'm just, I don't know, anything you want to do.
Yeah, we can connect
you. The dude is confused.
What do you do for your socialization? Don't tell me you read and watch a movie. It's normal.
No, you know, we're discussing this off just before you came to join us.
You and who were discussing?
With the first, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Roland would deny you. This man, fear him.
Those are just the two things.
Fear him.
Anyway, I have to say good morning to Elise Couture, who has my shirt on, as always. Got my back. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let me say thank you to Auntie B.
Yeah, Auntie B.
I think I'm wearing it for the second time. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I love it.
Yeah.
All right, Joseph, we're going to do the online review, but let's start with you got Koku Anyidoho.
You did?
Yeah,
yes.
he got Koku yesterday.
You guys seem to be close friends now.
When everybody was at the the NDC headquarters, because that's where there were rumors he was going to appear.
We got a tip off that, I mean, he'll be heading directly to his home because the CID headquarters, the CID officers were, they didn't want to release him such that, I mean, a lot of people gather and becomes a rally of a sort.
Okay.
More like a hero's welcome. So
they didn't want that.
They didn't want that.
That's why they were chained before.
Everything, because as at 2 p.m. we had heard he had been granted bail, yet no one knew his whereabouts.
I think I love that strategy.
So until about 5 p.m. For about 3 hours, I pitched camp at the Soyarifa residence and waited patiently.
He didn't know you were there.
He wasn't aware.
That's your journalist instinct working.
Exactly.
You're a thief.
But it's good that he spoke to you. But you've got a report.
Yes.
Yeah. So please intro.
So the report captures engagement with Koku Anyidoho and one of his lawyers, Roxin Dafiamokbo. He's supposed to report to the CID headquarters on Tuesday. So we can take a listen to Mr. Anyidoho and the lawyer. Mr. Anyidoho's Oyarifa neighborhood was relatively peaceful when I arrived at about 2 p.m. on Thursday. After hours of waiting, the siren of a police dispatch rider prompted me that the NDC Deputy General Secretary was approaching home. As I walked closer to his vehicle when he alighted, he signaled me to engage his lawyer, Roxin Dafiamekpo. Lawyer Dafiamekpo explained why Mr. Anyidoho had to report to the CID once again.
So we have a temporary reprieve. In the interim, he's been released on bail, police inquiry bail, to at least be with his family to celebrate the Easter festivities. And then when that is over, and we go back on Tuesday, other consequential steps can be followed.
For Mr. Anyidoho, his stay behind bars was peaceful.
Yeah, we thank God. I mean, the law had to work based on some information out there. And so the police did their job professionally, and I want to congratulate them and thank them, the CID unit led by DCOP Mamitiwa Adodankwa. And so here we are, my lawyers, the BNA director and his people, and of course the other men who you can see them here. And so we thank God, and At least Ghana is working.
Were you comfortable all through?
Interesting experience. But let me say for the records, I was not manhandled at any point in time. No. Not by the CID, not by the BNI. I was not manhandled at any point in time. No.
How about food-wise? I mean, was the meal good?
You want to know?
I want to know.
We'll discuss that later.
The other issue was the support.
No, but it was good. No, for the record, just for the media, it was good. It was good.
The other issue is the support from your party supporters, other sympathizers. Was it something that you were even aware of in the first place?
As Deputy General Secretary of the party, I didn't doubt the fact that we had a support base and we believe in comradeship and camaraderie. But what happened in the last 2 days has been excellent, exciting. We thank the grassroots, we thank everybody. Former President Dramani Mahama, the party chairman, General Secretary, leadership in Parliament, of course, the lawyers, and everybody. We thank God.
The engagement could not have ended without asking him whether his views on the cool comments remain same. The statement, any regrets?
Which statement? Okay.
So on Tuesday, we can expect Mr. Kokwanyido to exit this particular residence. Next time around, not going over to the party headquarters or the BNI where he was kept, but rather to the CID headquarters to engage investigators further. Reporting for JoyNews from Oyarifa, my name is Joseph Akable.
So Koku morning. This is day one, the morning after, really.
And we have to say, sometimes he watches us and gives us messages. He gives the messages sometimes.
Morning. So the point is, he's going to report to the police on Tuesday. But what's interesting is the fact that all the charges that we read yesterday that apparently had been slapped on him, it is still police inquiry.
Yes, I mean, he has not been formally charged, the lawyers explained. They say that he's being investigated for those charges. So when they conclude
so they are investigating to see whether they can prefer those charges.
Exactly. So when they are comfortable that they want to go ahead with the case, they will slap him with those charges. But his lawyers are confident that this appears to be a case of just wanting to be sure and getting the individual.
It appears to be a Kenny Japoish kind of case, right?
Exactly. But they still have his phone. Or phones and
because they got the warrants to search those items, and in fact the lawyer said that even before that warrant was obtained, the police officers already had access to them, but they think that it's a case of trying to, change his mind about some of his utterances sometimes. And when I posed that question directly to him whether he has any regrets about his statement, he said, which statement? So it's clear that the man himself doesn't want to be associated with that statement, or maybe doesn't want to even talk about that statement entirely.
There was also another observation from your report. I listened to you actually, so that's how come I kind of know the things I want to ask you. You said the CID officers who arrested him were the same two gentlemen who brought him home.
Yes, so about 7 officers brought him over to his residence, but 2 of them were the very 2 individuals who accosted him at the press center. First informed him that he was under arrest and that he should come with them. And the 2 gentlemen, they shook hands with him. In fact, he pointed at them that, look at them, they treated me very well before he shook hands with them and they left his residence.
Let's go back a little bit. We hear this often from public officials. When they're taken, we hear all the talks, lawyers saying we can't see our clients, they are not allowing us, blah, blah, blah. But they come out, they say nice things about the BNI and the CID.
It appears...
just for the cameras?
I don't think so, because Mr. Kokwanyido, he's a firebrand. He belongs to an opposition party. Anyone would like to make some political capital out of it if indeed you're not treated well. It goes against the name of government to come out boldly and state that while they kept you in custody, they didn't treat you well. It helps your case, but if you've been treated well,
you can't come out and
especially when they've not charged you formally, they intend to charge you. I think sometimes in the interest of going home to spend Easter, you must be fair to them when you address the press the first time, so that when you go back on Tuesday, they may also be fair to you when they are examining the facts and deciding whether to charge you and take the matter forward or to drop the case entirely.
Yeah. But whilst all that was either in the pipeline happening, there was another thing that was cooking, with some changes made at the top, the BNI.
Was it coincidental?
The government statement that was released, they say that it was just coincidental. They say the gentleman, it more or less has to be a shake-up trying to strengthen the BNI. But we know that in the past, some issues have come up with a statement that that the BNI released when someone was nominated as a deputy minister for Agric. There was a BNI statement suggesting that he had been involved in some drug issue. Later, it turned out that the BNI had identified someone else who had the same name as that particular nominee. So we are told that that may have been an issue. In fact, our source at the BNI explained
so the
that
changes were for their past sins.
Exactly, not the current situation. In fact, we are told that the BNI boss was not in the country when Mr. Nyido was picked up. He arrived just yesterday afternoon.
Let's do the online review. We'll connect. We'll try and connect the dots. Let's see how it's been reported. Let's start with myjoyonline.com, and then we will see. There are some rumors that we're hearing that because of the picture that's went public and maybe viral. I don't know how far it went with former President Rawlings and then Koko Anyidoho.
Former President Mahama.
Oh, former President Mahama. Apologies. Okay, so this is myjoyonline.com. Russia expels U.S. diplomats in tit-for-tat measure. So Russia has expelled 60 U.S. diplomats and closed the country's St. Petersburg consulate in a tit-for-tat response to U.S. action over a spy poisoning case in the UK. This started with the United Kingdom. There are some European nations that have also decided to follow this trend, and then of course the US now. Russia is hitting back, and some people have said this is like a return to the Cold War. We don't know how.
We just hope it doesn't escalate. I mean, Trump, Putin, can we expect anything?
But we thought Trump was a friend of Mr. Putin.
So we are told.
Supposedly.
But the US always puts its interest ahead. Same with Russia. I mean,
Echo, please try and see if you can get Dr. Vladimir Chidanso for us. Maybe we can speak to him briefly on this matter of Russia. And the so-called friends who are almost like enemies with Russia now.
Yeah.
We don't know how this whole thing is going, but he would understand. But also on myjoyonline.com. So when we get Dr. Vladimir Chidanso, so hopefully it's not too early to give him a call. This is it. Please, let's open up the story of the BNI boss. Has he been sacked or not? He's been reassigned. That's what they say.
We are told he has been moved to the Ministry of National Security.
But it's interesting what you said before, that he wasn't in the country when this whole thing started.
That is what the sources within the BNI tell us. We are told he arrived yesterday, sometime mid-morning, just about the time that Mr. Nyido was being moved from the BNI to the CID for the bill process to continue. So they say that it has nothing to do with it, but the timing, obviously, anyone who wants to connect the two.
But you know, usually we've had in the past, or in the recent past, especially during this period of the MPP administration, in which there'd been some media speculations of certain actions, and then we've had that being fueled for a number of hours. And then you have a statement that seems to doubt.
In fact, in this case, that was exactly what
was the initial intention, some sacking, perhaps maybe the media and social media speculations also giving them the vibe that, look, maybe this is not the best action to take, and so they come in with a statement and say, could that be?
Because the statement, at the point the statement was released, it was all over on social media that he had been sacked because Koko Anyido had been granted bail, and also because he had allowed former President Mahama to have access to him and even take photographs with him. But our government sources tell us that even before former President Mahama flew from Sierra Leone, he had contacted them and informed government officials and got clearance from top hierarchy
to see him
before he even came into the country.
And it's possible because the former president John Mahama is who he is, former president. So if he wants the clearances, he could. And I'm told that the former president Jerry John Rawlings also.
If he wants the clearance, hang on. If there's a security matter, I mean, the law shouldn't.
No, I'm saying if he wants,
shouldn't favor anybody.
We don't get a sense of
any animosity between
himself and the current president. They've disagreed on a number of issues, even
but they are not enemies, so to speak.
Exactly.
They can criticize each other, but
I don't think wanting to see Koko be too much of a big deal for.
But was the picture taken moments and subsequently it showing up in the public? That was one of the things that was rumored to have been.
Yeah, because the concern is you don't have people visiting persons who are being held in custody and you see them take photographs with them. It's not. I don't think it's the best in terms of crime and everything. I mean, it's because I don't think anyone who went over to the place, I doubt if his family, his close relatives may have even been allowed access to him. So when people see it that way,
well, in one of the delegations, I saw his father, former general.
Koko's father.
Yes, I mean, but that was during the bail process. We don't know whether before that they had access to interact with him directly. So it will allow people to raise questions about the kind of treatment they are given, preferential treatment they are giving a former president.
Well, I had some sources there too, and I'm told that at the time that we, the media, were reporting that he'd been granted bail, in all truth, he hadn't been granted bail.
Some people actually broke the news.
He hadn't been granted bail, even though the intention was that he would be given bail.
So yesterday,
so they were still there, and we're reporting that he had been granted bail.
So yesterday, when Kofi Adams was speaking to the media, was it Kofi Adams or Kojoga, one of them? Then one journalist said, "It's the same thing that we had earlier, and we broke the news, and it turned out that it wasn't true, that he had not been released." I was like, oh.
Yeah. So at the time we were talking that he's been granted bail.
Yeah.
He hadn't been granted bail.
Yeah.
Not in the formal, strict sense. The intention was that we'll grant him bail.
Okay.
And so I think that sometimes we also pick on the news and try to. It helps in
some people get it wrong, but not everybody gets it wrong.
Yeah.
Or perhaps people put it out there and get government to do it actually.
Well, it could also be an agenda.
But let's if we
let me read a bit of the
US.
So no, this is the director of the Bureau of National Investigations, William Akwesiapia. Okay, so I think this was the earlier
story.
This was the earlier story. So when we get the bit about the change in terms of where he's been taking the movements, because we know he's been moved to the ministry. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and then, you know,
to a desk job.
He's going to be doing research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that position.
Research. Yeah, research.
It appears at the police service top hierarchy too. Research training, and research. Yeah. That is good, Pa.
What is good about it?
But when you go, it means that you're in Siberia.
Boring. It sounds boring.
It means you're in Siberia.
But listen, we should be tracking what monies are given to the research departments of either of all these places where they take some top people when they want to make changes.
And what they do with that money.
Exactly. And what kind of research do they undertake?
They're expected to churn out knowledge that will improve that particular service, but maybe I'm just not seeing the improvement.
Okay, so let's move away from the updates because we are very well updated with the Koku's story. Baumia urges African countries to join forces in protecting marine environment. It's another story on myjournline.com.
And we know we're told that there were some pirates that were in our waters kidnapping.
Yes, in the Keta area.
They kidnapped 3 Koreans.
Kufuor's 74th birthday in pictures. If you missed it, we can just open it up real quick. Fred, please open the pictures for us. I haven't seen the birthday pictures. But the 74th birthday also kind of coincided with the renaming of the seat of governments.
In the morning, I heard Roland ask the director of communication whether this was a birthday present for the president himself.
Yeah.
Actually, my lead producers, Mama Vioso Abuaji.
No, I did not.
Derek,
no,
Derek Apple, Sam.
I don't think our viewers are interested in this.
No, they're not.
We're telling me to ask the questions.
They don't care who was in your ears.
None of the questions I asked were mine.
Roland asked the question.
I absolved myself
of that. Let's look at the pictures. So the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, on Thursday, March 29, celebrated his 74th birthday with family, friends, and some members of the New Patriotic Party. We're just going to scroll so you can see the pictures.
That's beautiful.
That's him and his wife.
Beautiful.
And this is family. Yeah.
President 1.
I hear he didn't know this was going to happen. This was a surprise.
Oh, it was a surprise.
Oh, that's former President Kufuor right there. Okay.
Oh, what a surprise.
And that picture with Dr. Baumia. Okay, all right. Sure, this is children. Who's that?
That should be the chief of staff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the president with the chief of staff.
But it means that they would have planned it with a security detail and everybody, because when he was coming.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Because these are very close people, so yeah. Okay, so that's it. We're just showing you pictures of the president's 74th birthday party. There was a hangout with very close friends, family, and people that he works with. Okay.
This photograph is interesting.
Which one is that?
This one.
Okay.
That is his security, the one with the security.
Yeah.
So that is his ADC in the military uniform.
Okay.
The others are the bodyguards. They also posed for the picture.
Wow.
It's not very usual.
Yeah.
They have to take a photograph with their boss. Not always.
Not always.
Standing as though they are protecting him.
Not always.
And that's with Joe Noche, the Director
NCA
General
boss.
of the NCA.
Okay. All right, you know, you can always go to
there's this
joyonline.com.
thing I saw, I think, from the Independence Day event, in which you see the gentleman with the coat of arms there. I think they seem to wear the presidency. They have these white attire that they're wearing, these kaftans now with the embroidered coat of arms. Looks beautiful. Right, let's move on.
Okay, so whilst the president was celebrating his 74th birthday, yesterday I got very upset in the morning about Lateef's beating. And it's almost predictable what the police is doing right now. ACP David Eklu has been speaking to us about an investigation that either has opened, is ongoing, or whatever. I don't have a lot of hope in that, but let's listen to this.
The complaint has come to my attention. The MD of Multi TV called me yesterday to draw my attention that one of his workers, Lateef, was assaulted during the siege at the police headquarters 3 days ago. And he indicated that he is receiving treatment at the hospital and that he was advised to come and report to the police, which he did today. We have also taken note of that complaint, and we regret the incident that happened. And, you know, we have been working with journalists. Journalists have covered a lot of these major public events without any relation with the police. All the same, we're taking it seriously. He has filed a complaint. I don't know the details. And if he is able to help us identify the police officer, then we know what next step to take. But let me indicate that it wasn't intentional. The incident that happened, when we read the report in the media, we do not know exactly what led to this attack. And we do not encourage and sanction some of these attacks on journalists when they are doing their work. That's why we are also happy that he has lodged an official complaint, and the police at Cantonments would do the necessary investigations.
Okay, so I got a hint from the presidency yesterday that you know, they want Lateef to recover, and then
give him a hero's welcome.
Try and see if you can identify the men who pounced on him, beat him up the way that they did.
I can imagine that would be very difficult.
Yeah, he's been released though, and I say again, maybe in a more sober way, that when people are beating us, like we expect that when we are covering stories, other people would want to beat us, and then we will run to the police for cover, and they will save us. But if the people that we will run to are the ones beating us, then I wonder where we will run to. You know, do we go to the Flagstaff House or where?
In fact, even people who even beat us, I mean, I think it's something that should end once and for all. People want to watch the news. The guys who are stage protests and they get the police officers around, when they go back at the end of the day, they sit home and watch what they partook in. They want to see how it's panned out. I mean, so if you want to watch the news, why don't you want someone to report? So the police should not be doing that. Same with all others who make it a point to take part in such demonstrations. We are simply doing our work. You are demonstrating. We are also there to tell the world how you are demonstrating. It even adds up to what you are doing. If no one reports it, I mean, it doesn't go anywhere.
And let no police officer think that, oh, these journalists, they will talk about this for this weekend, that's it, they will die. We're going to remind you, and because we own those footages, we're going to remind you each day. And unless no police officer comes to our show, or unless we don't get the opportunity to speak to any police officer, we have to remind them. And they have to give us some real solid assurances. And it's not just enough. ACP David Eklu, you're a very fine police officer, fine gentleman. He's very friendly. It's not enough to tell us that one of our bosses called to report, and so you're looking into it. Like, we're looking into it is just something that they say for the cameras, just say so that everybody will go to bed. We're going to actually be monitoring you to see if you'll be proactive in that investigation that you've opened up. We'll keep all our eyes on this and let the pressure mount. Amnesty International, we thank you for making a comment on this and opening up complaints of your own. we need the international communities in Ghana to also talk about this. We know that the Media Foundation for West Africa, great foundation, they also are with us on this. And a man who left mainstream media has not entirely, he's keeping an eye on events happening. Mr. Kenna Ashigbe, formerly managing director of the Daily Graphic, also strongly in this
graphic
and urgent exactly the GJA finally GJA I don't know, like they go to bed. GJA is supposed to be the first.
Oh, they brought their statement early yesterday morning. When
did this happen?
The previous
Latif
night.
had been in the hospital for 2 nights.
I heard the president say
as for GJ, like I don't know.
You were waiting to get adequate information.
GJA.
You heard the president.
GJA. Amnesty spoke before GJA. GJ is supposed to be our mother. Exactly. GJ is supposed to be your mother, you know? Yeah. And when things happen, your mother is supposed to know. And for those NDC people who are finally commenting on this, I'm very surprised because we're in this country when a certain Standogbe, somebody's recorder,
yeah, smashed it,
and we didn't hear them say anything. So you're kind of pretending because it is Latif Idris or because you are in opposition. Please spare us. I don't want those people to speak. Let the others who objectively talked about that issue, let them talk about this. We don't want this to be political. It is not NDC MPP. We beg you, leave our matter for us. Let us deal with it. On that note, Roland, please read a few messages because people have sent us messages.
It's true. So let me now read you some few messages. We have this one. It says, Mama V, did I hear Kokwanyi Doho say he was not manhandled and by the police, the BNI, CID all acted professionally. He even smiled over the food he was given and declined, but to comment on it later. My question is, where is the woman who was hit by a rubber bullet and others sprayed with hot water? Who feels the pains now? Someone has to think. I'm still watching Animals Kingdom on TV. And that's
good luck. We're not animals, by the way, because you're obviously watching us.
And that's Richard Bauer giving us this message from Pandai. Good morning to you.
Send it to the animals.
This one says, Mama V, the house is now Jubilee House, not Flagstaff House. Why? Ghana is funny. Nanaba from Achim Kwabeng. Let me see. I have this one from Rocky Johnson in Germany. He says, good morning, Mama V and Roland. I wish you happy Easter. Thank you, Rocky Johnson, Germany. Everyone keeps saying America is a superpower, but I can swear, even though the Bible forbids it, I can say Russia is very dangerous and smarter than America. All the Americans know this is just to destroy. All the Americans know is just to destroy, and the Russians are very good in calculating and demolition. I pray it doesn't escalate. You're talking about
the diplomats that have been expelled. But Russia is good at it. If you do it to me, I will do it to you in equal measure. Yeah.
All right. Somebody, okay, thank you. Somebody is watching us and saying we're another station. It's not possible. Why? It's a good morning for you guys. No. Okay, we're not. We're JoyNews. Okay, police. JoyNews. Police brutality is just becoming too much.
Yeah.
This one is coming from Justice Domaku from Ho, the Volta Regional Capital. It says IGP know the number of police people on duty. The IGP knows the number of police people on duty that day. We will need good outcome of this investigation.
Yeah.
Thanks for the solidarity.
They can find them. They can find them if they want to. Ghana Police.
Yeah, and our man has sent us UK. When he sends it, you don't read. When you don't read, he'll repeat the message. So, I love that. Copy and paste.
So Roland, you know how
happy Easter to you.
You know how people send us. So like somebody can send you money from abroad. Have you sent somebody money from Ghana before?
No.
Why? Have you?
You think they're only the abroad
people? Michael, we will send you money. Me and Roland will send you money.
Michael Amenin.
Even if it is 50 cities.
UK.
We will send you. How is that? Like, which one would we use? Is it MoneyGram or is it a two-way?
So you want to send him cities so that he converts to the local currency?
No, we will send him pounds. We will send you some pounds.
You can't send money from Western Union from here to Abricho. They can send you money, but you can't.
So we have to look for the one that we can send.
I think psychologically we are well aware that we receive, we don't send.
It's like journalists, they only receive, they don't.
That's not true. That's not true.
Michael Amenin from the UK, and I love the way he writes his name and adds the UK flag, the emoji for the UK flag. Happy Easter to you, Mama V and Roland. Happy Easter to you, sir. It's good news that Koku Anyidoho has been granted bail, but as a matter of fact, his comments were reckless, very reckless. And as he celebrates the Easter with his family, he should listen to his comments well and reflect on them and see if his comments were in good taste and if he should make amends in the way he speaks on air. But as a matter of fact, it's also shocking that NDC apparatchiks, including former President Mahama, don't see anything wrong with Koku Anyidoho's comments. But when Kennedy Japan was arrested with same reckless comments, former President Mahama said they will kill an ant with a bulldozer in reference to former President Kufuor's remarks. This is hypocrisy and disingenuous at its highest level by the NDC apparatchiks. Michael. Good morning to you, Michael. The BNI director acted so unprofessional. We're told that he was not in town, so I don't know who acted in his stead. How can someone in the police cell be allowed to be taking photos? And that's from Eja Kawodie. Kawodie.
We'll come back with the messages.
More messages.
We'll come back with the messages. Let's do
this
sports.
one from Elembele. You want me to read
Okay,
this one?
you've opened it. So
Politicians,
that's my constituency, so you should.
That's your constituency.
You're going to stand.
That's where I hail from.
This is my constituency. Where do you live here in Accra? That's your constituency. Where you live is your constituency.
People normally contest. I mean, like she's asking where they are from.
Joseph Akable.
But Joseph, I can assure you that if you're going to stand anytime, any day in the Elembele districts to want to go to Parliament, I'll transfer my vote and come and vote for you.
Emmanuel Amakofibo will not be happy.
Oh, Masa.
Oh, that time he'll be
Joseph Akable. One time quick, so make up your mind, eh? Let's start raising the funds. Here is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Parliament is not cheap.
This one is from Sepa from Elembele. It says politicians always play smart because we're talking about the American military base in Ghana. The president decided to change the name of the Flagstaff House to Jubilee House for us to forget what we are fighting for. But he's lying. Sepa from Elembele.
Okay.
Westing.
On that note, we're going to hold on to the messages that you're sending, but we encourage you.
Huh?
Yeah, we get lots of messages. It's a holiday, so we're going to be sharing all your messages with everybody else. But we've got two amazing people who will be joining us in the studio. It's a holiday. We want to get the Easter feel in the studio as well. So Bessa is on the show today, but my girl Miss V is also on the show.
Bessa Simons.
Exactly. But Reverend Dr. Robert Ampia Kofi, his General Overseer of the Global Revival Ministries and President of Ampia Kofi World Outreach. And he's a man of many things. He's a teacher, healing evangelist, pastor, best-selling author. He's been in the business for over 30 years, and he says that he's not a pastor. He likes the evangelism bit, and he's been to everywhere in this country spreading the word. And on an occasion like this, we thought, who else would you want to spend Good Friday with
than him?
Yeah, exactly. So Reverend Dr. Robert Ampia Kofi is our guest on the show this morning. So stay with us. Thanks, Joseph.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joseph.
We'll bring you sports, after which we will get into the Easter mood. Stay with us. Keep sending messages.